news from the Road Home tonight. My name is Ryan Brown. I'm an outreach coordinator at Rush Road Home Program, the Center for Veterans and their Families. Tonight, we're coming back to you from a small break, so we're going to talk about what we're doing in the next few months, what we did in the last couple months, and give everybody a little update. First, I'd like to thank everybody for tuning in. Thanks for coming back. We had a little absence, a little hiccup right there, but we're back now. Second, I'd like to thank everybody for their thoughts and prayers on Memorial Day. Let's just talk about Memorial Day real quick. Memorial Day is not quite the holiday. It's not the holiday it's become to. It's evolved to. Memorial Day is to remember those who served and were killed or passed away during their times in service. It's a solemn holiday. It's time for remembrance for veterans, for a lot of family members, including Gold Star family members. Gold Star family member is somebody who's lost a service member or a veteran while they were on active duty, active reserve, or whatnot. Please remember that going forward. I'd like to thank all my fellow veterans for all the sacrifices they made back in the day, today, and in the future. Thank you again. But let's move on to what we're doing going forward. Next, you might have heard of some news about Road Home Program and Wounded Warrior Project over the last day or two. I'd like to thank Wounded Warrior Project. Wounded Warrior Project recently awarded Rush Road Home a grant for $45 million. The grant is to, well, USA Today says the grant is to combat PTSD. And as much as I like that, that's not quite what the grant is for. The grant is actually for us to help, for us at Road Home, to help people with post-traumatic growth. You might be asking, what's post-traumatic growth, Ryan? That doesn't really make sense. You're just making up words now. And my boss will probably agree with you. Post-traumatic growth is what we do at Road Home. We're trying to help people move past, well, veterans and their family members, because PTSD doesn't affect just the veteran. Help them move past the trauma, grow from the experience, and become a whole person once again. It's a little bit different from post-traumatic disorder. PTSD implies that you're going to be damaged for life. That is certainly not the case. At Road Home, our goal is actually to make sure that you come in, you get better, and that you don't want to see us again, that you don't need to see us again. That one day you come in to say, Brian, I think I'm all good. I'm just not going to come back anymore. And I want to be able to agree with you. My clinicians want to be able to agree with you. And that will be the end of it. You're welcome to visit anytime, but hopefully you won't need to. So once again, thank you, Wounded Warrior Project, for your extremely generous gift. It's going to help us treat a number of vets, thousands of vets over the next 5 years, and help improve the veteran community at large. Also, it's summertime. Road Home, we like to do a lot of stuff during summertime. Sometimes we get to do some activities that you might not think of or you might not relate to a veterans clinic. One of those activities, the first one we're going to talk about today, is art therapy for veterans and their family members. You might be thinking that art therapy doesn't really make sense for veterans. Why are the veterans coloring? Why are they making paintings, statues, whatnot? Art therapy is a fantastic way for a veteran to just kind of calm down, settle down, enjoy life, and create. One thing I can tell you about veterans, myself being a veteran, is that being able to create is a joy. All the veterans I know love to create. It's just something that isn't normally associated with veterans. I think that's a shame. Some of the most creative people, most talented people I've ever met are veterans. People like Mel Brooks. I do not know Mel Brooks, for the record. Walt Disney was a veteran. Bob Hope. I believe Bob Hope was a veteran. John Wayne, Lee Marvin, Elvis Presley, Shaggy. Shaggy was actually a veteran. But there are a number of veterans that get to create, and we always encourage that. But we also, again, encourage the family members. This art group is every Monday from 1 to 3 p.m. You will just meet in the waiting area at Rush Road Home, which is 1645 West Jackson, Suite 302. They'll come up, collect you, and take you down to the art therapy. Like all the activities over at Rush Road Home, this is completely free. So any veteran family member is more than welcome to attend. All right. So that's one of our ongoing activities that we have over at Road Home. We certainly love to see you participate in that. Another activity we have is mindfulness-based recovery group. Now, mindfulness, this is a 12-week class. This is Tuesdays from 3:30 to 5 p.m. And I often get the question, what is mindfulness? What is this? The veterans sometimes don't quite understand it when we make them do mindfulness. Mindfulness could be considered meditation, if you will. But another way to put it, especially for a veteran suffering from PTSD or a traumatic brain injury, is simply that mindfulness is a way to shut your mind off, or a way to focus on what you would like to focus on when you like to focus on it. Somebody with PTSD might have issues trying to take everything in all the time. Kind of the head on the swivel, never being able to shut something down. Mindfulness is a practice to allow you to kind of be in the moment, focus on one thing at a time as you decide to, and kind of just relax, if you will. It's a fantastic activity. Anybody can benefit from it, mindfulness. We do this all the time. And again, this is for veterans and family members. Again, family members at Rush Road Home qualify. Anybody that the veteran feels is a family member, or if of course you're a blood family member, immediate relative of a veteran, you are welcome to attend any of our groups. Please just again check in at this time. This will be 1645 West Jackson, Suite 602. So that'll be upstairs on the 6th floor. Alrighty. So, like I said, we do a lot of groups over at Road Home. We try to really encourage people to get out, to be more social, to enjoy what life has to offer, and help work through your PTSD, traumatic brain injury, or if you had a military sexual trauma experience, work through that. Now, of course, we do this in a number of ways. We do mindfulness, we do art therapy, we do outpatient therapy, we do intensive outpatient therapy, we do art, we do field trips at times. We have groups for family members specifically, what we call the Do You Love a Veteran group. And we do the Do You Love a Veteran group on... Now, the Do You Love a Veteran group is the second Tuesday of every month from 6 p.m. to 8 p.m. This one is open to anyone who is a veteran or veteran family member. Now, there is one small requirement. If you are a veteran, we ask that you do leave that veteran hat at the door per se, and that you come in as a family member and relate to the other members of the group as a family member. It's simply not to focus on the veterans, it's to focus on the relationships between family members and those supporting veterans and how they relate to other veteran family members. This one we do ask that you RSVP with Johanna Bawalda. Her number is 312-942-3649. Once again, that is 312-942-3649. Now, people might be asking, well, you do all these groups, you do this, you do that, but it sounds like a lot sitting around, not very physical activities. That would be true, almost. We do have some physical activities, and one of them is yoga for veterans and their family members. Now, this is a pretty popular class, and it is a pretty relaxed yoga class. All right, let's make sure we got everybody on it. All right, cool. This class is for clients of Road Home. So again, we'd want somebody that's been at Road Home, that's done our intake. It's pretty painless, I've got to tell you. It's Tuesdays from 1 to 2 p.m. Now, this type of yoga starts off with chair yoga, but it can do more advanced yoga depending on the class members and what is needed and kind of the focus of the class that day. Our instructor, Rebecca, is fantastic. She is very helpful. She is very friendly and very flexible, no pun intended, about how she runs the class. So if you come in and you feel like, I've never done yoga before, how is this going to go? Rebecca will absolutely walk you through yoga, let you explore at your own pace. There's never any pressure in this class. So we just want you to kind of come to yoga, enjoy the class, and we will work around whatever works best for you. All right? All right. So that's one of our more physical activities, if you will. Again, we do some physical activities this summer. We've got to have some fun. Yoga's out there. We do some activities like ruck march. A ruck march is also known as a hike for civilians, usually with around a 20-pound pack. This year our ruck march will be the weekend of Labor Day, I believe, September 8th, and we will be starting somewhere down on the south side, I believe around 63rd and South Shore, and going up to not Navy Pier, I apologize, up to Soldier Field. I'll have a little bit more information on that as we get closer, but certainly keep an eye out on that. We'd love to see everybody participate. We love to have civilians, family members, veterans, spouses, friends of veterans. Anybody that wants to is welcome to attend that. It's just to support the veterans and to support the Road Home program. Thank you. Now, it's summer. The warm weather is finally here. We at Road Home love a barbecue as much as anybody else loves a barbecue. And we decided to hold a little barbecue for our friends out there. And we're going to do so. Whoops, wrong button. So, June 16th, the day before Father's Day, we're going to have a kick-off the summer barbecue at Park Tavern, which coincidentally happens to be in our building, so thank you Park Tavern for helping us out on this one. It's 1645 West Jackson. What you can do is you can contact Road Home at 312-942-6545. But essentially, it's all you can eat barbecue, all you can drink beer and wine and sodas, especially if you're not 21 and over. We will have raffles and some silent auctions, but this is all to go to Road Home. Kids in 12 and under get to eat free. There'll be some games, there'll be hopefully a couple celebrities, maybe we're going to get some bears there. We're still working on that, but there's some pretty well-known bears we've invited, and we'll see what happens with that. But some of the auction items include a birthday party at the new Blackhawks practice facility for a child. The birthday party recipient will be able to drive a Zamboni on the ice. I'm actually pretty jealous about that one. I'd like to try the Zamboni myself. There will also be a couple wine parties at your home that will be raffled off. A couple staycations for anybody that wants to have a weekend away from the children, if that is so what you so desire. I believe we have 1 year free coffee will be one of the awards or one of the gifts that will be given out. So there are going to be quite a few opportunities for everybody to have some fun, meet some new people, enjoy some barbecue, and kick off your summer, which is what we're going to do. You can also play bags, horseshoes. I believe there'll be a bunch of dogs running around if you want to play with the dogs. And if you just want to have some fun, get that out of the house and make it a cheap Father's Day present, this would probably be a really good choice. So another thing that we do at Road Home is we have a softball tournament. We like to play softball. We don't play it very well. Our Road Home team has won, I think, 2 games in the 4 years of the tournament. We've hosted the tournament. So we look forward to getting beat again this year. This year, to stack the odds in our favor, we've made it a double elimination tournament. So we should actually play 2 games this year. But we invite anybody to participate in our softball tournament. It's really for the neighborhood down in Beverly Park, but I know that Chicago PD sends somebody, Chicago Fire usually sends somebody, a number of veteran organizations send people, Rush University usually sends a team. Aside from Road Home, that team wins, Road Home does not. I'm going to invite Can TV to send a team. They'll probably win too. We will still not win, but that's alright. And this tournament, there we go, that's much better. Softball Tournament and Family Fest. This is July 7th from 9 o'clock to 5 o'clock at Beverly Park, which is 2640 West 102nd, Chicago. Like I said, it's a double elimination tournament. So even if you're not the hottest team, you still have a chance. I'm looking at you, Road Home. There'll be some opening ceremonies. I believe our alderman down there will be speaking. We will do some small presentations. Some activities for the kids. I know we have a bouncy house, some face painters. I believe there's barbecue, an ice cream truck. I believe there's a few kids games, little cute kids tournaments. Some veteran service organizations will be there. I expect, well, Road Home, of course, will be there. Lift for the 22, one of our great friends and partners. Probably the VA will be there. Chicago Parks is one of our co-sponsors on this. Now there is some information that you will want to know about this tournament. At least 50% of the team must be comprised of veterans. It is a veteran softball tournament. We do want to have as many veterans out there as we can, please. We're going to give you a 10-minute grace period before the start of your first game, or any game, before we ask you to forfeit. As much as we'd love to be able to accommodate everybody, unfortunately we cannot. We need at least minimum 3 women on the, well, 3 females on each field when playing. It's slow pitch 16-inch softball, so it's pretty easy. It's a lot of fun, and we always look forward to any members of the community participating. If you have any questions, you can go to vetssoftball2018.eventbrite.com to register your team. Alrighty. So another thing that we like to do at Road Home is we like to reach out to the community, explore the community, but explore opportunities for the community to learn more about PTSD, traumatic brain injury, military sexual trauma, and something called moral injury. Moral injury is something that's been more popular lately. It is not an official diagnosis, but I imagine that will change very soon. Moral injury is an experience that many people often have had that looks very much like PTSD, except not quite. Moral injury is an experience being part of or witnessing some act or acts that breaks your moral compass. Unfortunately, since it's not an official diagnosis, a lot of people think that they have PTSD. They do not. Maybe it overlaps, but we at Road Home want to educate the community on what moral injury is, and this can be any member of the community. It's quite common among veterans. Estimates say up to 40% of veterans have experienced moral injury at one time or another. And to help educate the community on what moral injury is, how to treat moral injury, how to deal with moral injury, we have a class because we are a teaching hospital and we want the community to understand all the invisible wounds of war, what can be done about them, and how to work through them and past them. So, on Thursday, June 28th, from 9 a.m. to 12:30 p.m., so 9 to 12:30, we will be building skills for addressing moral injury in veterans. This particular class is for clinicians, although if you are a member of the clergy, a concerned citizen, maybe somebody that works with veterans or has a family member that is a veteran, you can certainly call us and our instructor can talk to you about the appropriateness of you attending this class. Or there's a possibility that we can schedule another class for you and your peers to talk about moral injury. Now, clinicians will learn about and have the opportunity to practice essential skills for treating mental health problems that result from moral injurious experiences. Again, we have a number of experts that work with moral injury. It's something that does affect a number of the population. Certainly something you might be interested in talking about. You can always reach us at 312-942-8387, and you can simply ask about the moral injury workshop. Alright? So, getting back to what we do at Road Home Program. I gave you a lot of information. We do a lot of activities. We try to be out in the community as much as possible. Clearly we're on CAN TV. You might see us running around somewhere at parades. We did the Beverly area parade this weekend. We will have some folks over at Pride Parade later this month. We do barbecues, we have galas. We just try to be part of the community. The thing is, with Road Home, we really are part of the community. We really want to support veterans and their families at all times. It's important for us to let the community know that when we talk about things like PTSD, traumatic brain injury, MST, it's not just something that affects the veteran, or it's some random thing that is very esoteric that you're never going to see. It takes a lot of forms, and it affects everybody around the veteran who's suffering from this. And in fact, the family members often suffer the most, one might say, because they don't know what happened to their veteran, their family member. They went to war, they went to military training, they had some experiences, they came back, they're not the same person that you may have fallen in love with, that you knew before, and you question what's going on, how do I help this person? And that's why Road Home exists. We simply want to help you and your veteran understand what is going on, how to deal with it, how to repair or maintain those relationships that you may be suffering with. We offer outpatient therapy, which is what most people think of when they think of therapy. You come in once a week, you talk to the therapist for an hour, hour and a half, you go home, ruminate on what happened, and then go back the next week. We offer this for, well, couples, spouses, children of veterans, parents of veterans, friends of veterans, if the veteran feels it's appropriate. Of course, we offer it for the veterans themselves. We never charge anything for these services, but we really want you to know that these services do exist. They are out there. We do care about you. There's always going to be somebody available at Road Home. Now, if you are in crisis, you feel like, hey, no one's going to listen to me, we certainly are going to listen to you. We certainly do want to help you out. But we do need you to reach out to us first, please. We simply just can't reach out to everybody. I wish we could. I wish we had some magic ball that tell us this person's in trouble, this person's in trouble, and we could just pick you up, but unfortunately that's not how it works. Veterans, we have an intensive outpatient program which focuses on dealing with PTSD that you may have suffered 30, 40, 50 years ago, or may have happened last month. We certainly are willing to help you out on that. Again, we offer that. We just want to help you reach your goal and become the best person you can be, the person you were before, or grow past whatever trauma you suffered. It's really important for us that everybody understands these things, that you know that these resources are out there for you. We also help we can assist with some VA claims. We don't do all the claims, just to be very clear on that. We do have psychiatrists, psychologists, mental health specialists, including social workers and whatnot. All these services are available for you at Road Home. It's simply a matter of you reaching out to us, and you can do so at www.roadhomeprogram.org or 312-942-8387. 8387. Thank you for tuning in tonight. Thank you for your time. It's always appreciated. Have a good night.